Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and happy Groundhog Day. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and happy Groundhog Day. Okay, people, welcome back. I'm not going to run the joke into the ground. You guys know me better than that. Okay, people. But this week, again, it is another heavy news week. And it's all because of Hasbro wanting to assert their dominance on the toy world, apparently, with Marvel Legends line. But before we get into that, let's talk about some S.H. Figuarts, let's talk about some Soap Studios, let's talk about some, and Marvel Legends. Soap Studios has posted promotional images of their 1/12 scale cloth-clothed type figures of Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne, and Ra's al Ghul. Now, this company's already solicited a CW Flash and Arrow, and they look pretty good, but because of the leather suits and the scale, it doesn't look, I don't know, it's kind of skinny. They look kind of off. With Bruce and Ra's, because of the style of their clothing, it's big, it's baggy, it's supposed to be cloth. I think these look pretty damn good. The head sculpts are nice, the weaponry, the armor, just, yeah, you can tell it's a scaled down figure with cloth on it, but I like these better. And really moving forward, I feel like Soap Studios could really cash in on this, doing characters that no other company seems to want to do. Sure, it's not going to sell like probably Flash and Arrow or main characters, Batman, Bane, but this, have we got a Ra's from anybody else? Have we got a Training Gear Bruce? Not only do I want to kind of get them because they look great, it's because they'll be probably the only versions on my shelf. Now, there's not a lot of info, but you throw some pretty pictures up and I'm going, I'm probably more interested because it doesn't have info. Now I'm wondering, what's the price? When's the date? What's going on here? I'd like to be teased, I guess. Speaking of teases, last week we did get teased with the S.H. Figuarts Street Fighter Ken and Sakura. And this week, the actual solicitations came out. They went up for pre-order with the, I've already talked about that way too much, the S.H. Figuarts A New Hope Ben Kenobi. Both are looking great. Both come with optional portraits, both come with extra hands, both come with an effect, but for some reason Sakura is more expensive than Ken. Ken costs $45, comes out in June, Sakura comes out in July and costs about $48.49. Now, the only thing I can figure out here is it's listed as coming with a stand of some type. They're technically called support poles, and I can... Is it for the effect? Is it for the figure? I don't know. Ken isn't listed with that. Is that an extra $5? I don't know. Another figure we've been teased with for months now, and are you picking up on the theme of this episode? And is now finally solicited would be the S.H. Figuarts Dark Knight Rises Catwoman. Now, I like the proportions here. I like the details. The face is really nice. As I've said before, I'm in love with the Mafex version, but the more I look at this, the more I'm kind of... I don't know. Even if you're doing the Mafex line, this is... it's a competitor. And if you're doing the Figuarts line, it's going to fit right in. It's going to go perfectly with the rest of your collection. Now, she comes with extra hands, and it looks like two heads. It looks like one with the goggles up, one with the goggles down over the eyes. And this pose, that pose is enough to almost sell me on the figure by itself. I'd almost get it, put it on a different shelf, much like I have the S.H. Figuarts Homecoming Spider-Man on a different shelf than the Mafex Homecoming Spider-Man. But my wallet's like, listen here, you need to knock that shit off. The bad thing here, Soul Web exclusive. It's only available on the Tamashii Nation site to the overseas region. But Bluefin's been pretty good about getting this stuff into outside markets. I just haven't seen a solicitation from Bluefin. They usually put those up while I'm recording this, so look for that, and if not, you can go to the third-party sites and buy from there. She's listed for $59 and will hit in July. And then let's get to Hasbro, who apparently in the past week, with their Marvel Legends line, has just looked at other toy companies and kinda... It's been insane! If you go back to the last weekly, I talk about the Deadpool Legends Wave 1 hitting the Philippines, and me just kind of pining for the wave as much just want it so bad now. I posted that weekly. The next day, we started seeing reports from California of the Deadpool Legends Wave hitting Toys R Us. It hit Arizona. I think it hit a couple of other West Coast places, but the finds were sporadic. I don't know if they're being held back because on the box it has a street date of April 13th. That date keeps coming up and around. The Solo Wave 1. I believe there's another Marvel Legends Wave that's supposed to be held until April some point, but it was leaking out. And that just happened to be the day I was driving 350 miles up to Kansas City, stopped at a couple of Toys R Us's, of course struck out. Monday rolls around and I'm still like, I need some Deadpool Legends. So what does Hasbro go and do? They reveal 3 figures from Deadpool Legends Wave 2. Are you trying to hurt me? That would be Omega Red, who is looking much better than the old Toy Biz version. Now, don't get me wrong, the Toy Biz version does hold up, but man, it's got some long arms, it's got some gangly legs. His hair looks like Play-Doh, I guess you could say that. The new one, much more realistic in the hair, the proportions. The torso has butterfly joints forward and back. That's interesting. They revealed a Lady Deadpool, looking great. Again, I haven't read a lot of modern comics, so I'm not as familiar with this character, but it's Deadpool. I'll probably buy it. And as much as it's weird for me to say it, the Marvel Select version is going to be hard to beat. That doesn't mean I'm passing on the Marvel Legends Lady Deadpool. I'm just saying, for shelf superiority, the Select may take it here. But I don't know. I don't have them in my hands yet. This is. Nobody plays with their toys like this. And then finally, there's the X-Men version of Deadpool. It's in the yellow and black, it's got the buckles, and it blatantly says X-Men across the chest while having the Deadpool mask. I'm completely good with this. I'll take any version of Deadpool, much like other people take any version of Spider-Man. We got the Spider-Verse out there running around. We've had different versions of Spider-Man for years and years and years, so Deadpool's in the same part there. I hear a lot of people saying they're sick of Deadpool, and yeah, but it's the same reason I pass on half a Spider-Man wave. And not because I'm sick of Spider-Man, but everybody has their own little, favorites within the universe. Now, from leaked lists, we know there are at least 3 more figures in this wave, and that would be X-23 Wolverine. We got Bishop, don't know what era he's coming from, and then another Deadpool. If I was a betting man, I would say it was the blue Deadpool with the yellow striping. But that's just me, just kind of wish listing, hoping. I kind of want it to be Agent X. But everybody knows about my obsession there. That will probably never be fulfilled. Tuesday rolls around and I'm like, okay, cool. There's a Deadpool Legends Wave out there. It's out there, but I can't have it yet. And then we're finding out about a wave that may not have for a while, which kind of kills the excitement of current waves, but not that much. And then Wednesday rolls around and what's up with you Australians finding the Avengers Legends Infinity War Wave 1 figures? I already got the Lizard Wave kind of getting out. I already have the Deadpool Wave kind of just getting out, but not as much. And then another wave? Some people have speculated that because of Chinese New Year, Hasbro sped up production on a lot of this stuff, trying to get it out to stores for it to be released later so there wouldn't be a gap there. And stores are just like, hey, new toys, put them out. But again, that's just pure speculation. Now from this wave, we already knew about the King Cobra, who for some reason on the package comes with Serpent Society, even though there's not another Serpent Society character in the wave. Which I'm guessing King Cobra is like too generic to put on the package, and it's too long to put Marvel's King Cobra. We already knew about Songbird. I really dig this. I'm a huge fan of Thunderbolts. And then Taskmaster. I don't know what their obsession with Taskmaster is lately. I'm good with it. I'm a fan of Taskmaster. I just wish they had used an updated body here. And it's weird for me to say updated body when talking about the Bucky Cat body. I feel like we just got that, even though we didn't just get that. But I'm liking the newer bodies than this. But the rest of the wave hadn't been officially announced yet. We had seen lists, we had seen store computer screens. So we pretty much knew what the rest of the wave was, but to have confirmation on it by it actually leaking out is crazy. From Infinity War, we're getting Captain America with the unmasked head, the beard, the sleeves rolled up because he's ready for some business. We see his shield, which is very Wakandan influenced, which makes sense because Black Panther apparently replaces his shield with something Wakandan. Yes, the face looks weird, and it may be off, but I feel like we're seeing a lot of squishiness from the plastic coming around and holding the head. in the package. So it may be throwing it off. I think there's some more bulkiness to the hair. Bulkiness. We're missing some sides of the face, so I think that's throwing it off. I'd like to see loose pictures here. We're also getting Iron Man from Infinity War. Another Iron Man. I'm good with it. I'll probably end up with it, but man, we have a lot of Iron Mans. And then we get Iron Spider. We saw this costume in Homecoming. It's apparently going to be used in the new movie. I'm good with it. Another Spider-Man I'm always good with, but am I going to buy this one and then the import companies come out with 3 or 4 more? I don't know. But that's the risk you take with any popular Marvel characters these days. That's just the way the game plays now. And then to finish it up is Proxima Midnight, or Proxima Midnight, or Noxima Daedon. Again, not a modern comics reader, but I've read some Wikipedia. I know that she's related to Thanos. And from what I understand, this is the MCU version. So there's some pissed off people, there's some happy people, which any wave reveal. And then for confirmation on the Build-A-Figure, it is Infinity War MCU Thanos. I can kind of agree with the people that don't really care for the stripped down look. He's not wearing his armor, which I've heard it's like, he is so confident that he's going to win that he doesn't have to go into battle with armor. He's just going to go in like he's going to the beach and just beat up on the heroes and then walk out. And then they come back and then they start to kick his ass and he has to throw the armor on. At least that's what I'm hoping for, to get a figure of that later. But for now, I'm okay with this. If you look in the Captain America package, you can see his face. Yes, it's a little bit California raisin, but it's also a little bit Thanos. Thursday rolls around, I'm good with that. I'm like, oh man, I'm 3 waves behind on Marvel Legends. We're seeing shit that we won't see, I probably won't see for a little while. But then later in the day, online retailers started putting up the Deadpool Legends and the Spider-Man Legends Lizard Wave up for pre-order, which is cool. I put my orders in, I'm done with that. I don't have to worry about running to my failing, closing Toys R Us anymore. Pretty happy, pretty excited. I'm still gonna hunt, but I have them locked in. Roll around to this morning, and I'll be damned. Hasbro, come on! We kind of knew about the Venom Wave. We'd seen a store computer listing a Venom Wave. There were rumors flying around. But Hasbro came in today and just said, yeah, bitches, another wave. Which makes sense. There's a Venom movie coming. Why wouldn't they try to cash in on that? But the first 2 figures revealed is, in fact, Venom and Carnage. Now, I know it feels like we just got a great Carnage, but if you think about it, that was 4 years ago, around in there somewhere. Which in collector years is yesterday. That's at least the way I think. Didn't I just get a Carnage? Yes, 4 years ago. Holy shit. And I'm really liking the Carnage, especially with the attachment coming out, the big-ass axe. If you want to sell me a Carnage, give him a big-ass weapon. The Venom, not so much. Yes, it uses some new body parts. It looks like that new Odin Sun torso, and that does look better than the Hyperion torso. And he's got the kind of goo coming out around his neck. The head looks a little bit large, but that may be angle. At least I'm hoping that that may be angle. But I'm hoping that they show these two as a kind of, you know, we know you already have these. Don't get too excited. There's stuff coming before that, but the rest of the wave is gonna kick you in the ass. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And then I'm like, okay, time to record a weekly. Lots of excitement, lots of Marvel Legends. Let's do this. And I swear, as soon as I hit record, I got an Instagram notification that the Marvel Legends Ultimate Rider Ghost Rider has been found in California. Come on, Hasbro! You're killing me over here. Culver City, California, apparently, this was found. I don't know what to say. I mean, Toy Fair's in 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm going to go to the Hasbro panel, and it'll just be like, well, you've seen most of this. Here's a couple new stuff, but stay excited for the stuff you don't have yet. Meanwhile, on the Star Wars Black Series side of things, you would almost think that it's not the same company, but it is the same company. I understand Solo's just around the corner. All the reveals for that's supposed to be in April. That may be throwing a monkey wrench into the works. But I'm hoping they show something at Toy Fair. But man, at the moment, Marvel Legends kicking your ass. And that's all for this week. I'm sure as soon as I'm editing this, it'd be like, Black Widow found. Another wave announced. 2019 is going to have 150 waves. I'm not griping. I really am not griping. I couldn't be happier to be getting so many toys this year, but looking at that bank account is like, I need another job. Now, if you go back to this week, you'll see a 4-part Fwoosh cast. We're kind of looking at the Lizard Wave, and I hear the complaints. I know. We're trying stuff out. We're testing stuff out. We have huge plans for this format, so stick with it. I know, and as I was editing, I knew, man, you can barely see the figure. It's just us yapping. And another thing is, we're not going to sit down for a 2-hour session, because if you go back and watch the Lizard one, yes, we were a bit tired at that point. No, there were no mood-altering substances involved. With as many toys as there are, I can't afford that shit. But I did get this. This makes me super happy. I'm ready for a standard review. Which again, I know there were some other camera angles thrown into my Joker review. I was like a kid with a new toy, and I kind of overdid it. I know. I hear you. I got it. I'm working on it. But doing stuff like that makes it interesting. I'm hoping interesting for y'all, but it makes it more interesting for me, too. It keeps me, hey, gotta get to another review. Give and take, my friends. Give and take. So, if you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. Yeah, I have no clue how I'm gonna buy all these Marvel Legends figures. It's not too much. It's not just enough. If they announced 6 more waves, I'd be like, oh my god. But at the same time, inside, I'd be like, yes, more figures.